Hey everybody, welcome to the Choochin podcast. This is episode 2. And this week's guest, is one of my best buddies. I've known him for a very, very long time. At this point, probably a third of my life. Nate, everybody. How we choochin', Nate?
Pretty good, yo.
Dude, I'm doing fantastic.
Yeah.
90 degrees here today.
It's quite lovely, isn't it?
It's miserable.
Yeah. I can't wait to go to Florida next month and experience it.
Get some cool weather.
Some cool storms. It'd be real nice if we had a storm right now to cool shit off.
Big Krakatoa. Let loose a big burst of hail right here in the yard.
No, I don't want the hail to ruin my garden.
Yeah, got me wicked done up.
Oh, yeah.
What were you saying about your phone?
We're talking about the Facebook usage for...
when the iPhone came out with the ability to see how long you'd been on each app, I used to use Facebook a lot back then, and when I looked at my Facebook, or when I looked at that thing that tracked how long you were looking at apps or what apps you were using, stuff like that, I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. You know, I think I only use Facebook like probably an hour a day. And then I looked at it and it actually said 3.5 hours.
That's fucking bullshit. Are
Well,
we allowed
dude,
to swear in this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, so 3.5 hours in 7 days, that adds up to like 22 hours a week.
Yeah.
So I'm spending 22 hours a week looking at Facebook.
And you
so I was like, fuck that. And I just deleted my Facebook.
You could be doing more
20 hours
things.
a week looking at Facebook on my phone?
That's terrible.
Well, so that was the thing. I thought it was like, it's got to be max an hour a day. You don't realize, you know, if you wake up in the morning, you open up your phone, you look at Facebook for 10 minutes. You go and take a shit, you're looking at Facebook for 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's
you're
weird. For
getting
what?
something to eat, you're looking at it for 10 minutes. Yet that adds up, and then you spend an hour or two in the evening, you know, scattered looking at it. It's 3.5 hours a day. So I was like, dude, I'm getting rid of my Facebook.
Yeah, that makes sense, because at the end of the day, you think, like, what do you even get out of it? It's like you're just looking at what, like, other people do. Like, sometimes it's cool to see pictures and stuff. That's why I like it. To, like, I kind of use it as a timeline or a photo album to look at all my fishing pictures. And I have, like, albums with, like, storm videos and photos and stuff. But other than that, it's just kind of dumb. Like, sharing stupid memes and shit all the time. It's just kind of not even funny. Some of them are, but most of them are just stupid.
Well, like 99% of the time, I wasn't even posting anything. I was just scrolling and looking at random stuff. And 99% of what I was scrolling through, 98% of it was people I didn't talk to every day. People I was either friends of friends of.
Yeah, that you don't even know.
Or I met once and I'm an acquaintance of.
There's even some on there I've never even met. It's like, well,
so you're just looking at crap.
Yeah.
For 3 hours a day. That's why I got rid of mine.
Sometimes it can be funny, though.
Definitely. Well, there's some entertainment, or else you wouldn't use it for 3 hours a day.
Right.
There's
but like, it's funny,
even
stupid shit, like people's drama and stuff that you don't even if you don't even know them, it's kind of funny just to read comments sometimes, but then you think it's like, well, it's kind of
peeking
stupid.
Through the window into their life a little bit.
Yeah, it's just entertaining. Not something you want, just something like that.
Well, that's what people do when they gossip, right? They want to hear stuff. But it's basically just a digital gossip.
And it's cool because you can, like, look and you don't have to know anybody even saw it. No one has to know you even saw it and, like, looked at all these comments and stuff. Sometimes you'll do a ha-ha react. It's a lot of voyeurism. Or you could do, like, a little ha-ha react here and there just to let people know you're there and dropping in to check things out.
That's right, seeing what they're doing, what they're up to, where they're working and shit.
So they know. Like, yeah, I'm watching you.
It's weird how Facebook asks you, like, where you live, where you work.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
Because
it's not like the rest of them. I mean, Instagram, you can post, I think, where you live. Like, it'll ask you for your profile where you live.
Yeah, you don't really have... Oh, yeah, I haven't used Instagram in a long time.
But, like, no other social media really asks you, like, where you live. I think Twitter might, actually. I've never really used Twitter.
I've never used Twitter at all.
I just got a Twitter recently, but I never got one back in the day.
No, I've never even tried it at all. And since Snapchat's kind of just, like... That's basically just what...
There's no profiles in Snapchat,
no, that's
right?
just, like, sending people pictures and videos, basically, and that's it. And they disappear.
And you can't post any Well, you can post stuff publicly, can't you?
Yeah, your story. Or to all your friends, I guess. I don't know if it's public.
But your story has to be just to your friends?
Oh, no. I think you can see other people's stories in, like, other cities and shit, too, right? Because if you go on, like, the map and you can click on different towns...
So you can post it, like, publicly?
I think so. I don't really know how it works. I just use it for random shit sometimes. I don't know.
The only thing I really use social media for nowadays, other than to promote the podcast, is to just talk to my buddies. Like, if I had everyone's phone number, I wouldn't even need social media. I mean, a lot of it is to kill time, obviously. Like, you know, like when you're taking a shit or something, you have like 10 minutes. What are you going to actually do in 10 minutes? You just kind of,
yeah,
you know,
I like to. I'll go through Facebook or I'll go on YouTube and watch something real quick or something sometimes if I'm shitting.
Like, but so much of social media is just wasted. You have a little bit of time you need to waste. You know, where you're waiting 10 minutes here, or, you know, you need 5 minutes or whatever. You're on like a break at work and you have 10 minutes. Like,
right.
You just mindlessly scroll through stuff and maybe you find something a little entertaining. But
yeah, exactly.
I gotta say, how much of that do you think is just social media? Or you just waste time? You're just doing it to waste time. That's got to be most of it, right?
For just use, yeah. Like, if as far as the actual usage of social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty much just wasting time for the most part. I mean, there's no.
Well,
if you think about it, there's no
for me,
unless,
I'm just
I guess
wasting time.
Sometimes people find joy in it.
Because my buddies who I'm close with, I don't need to go on Facebook to see what they're up to. I just talk to them.
Well, there's some people that get carried away with it. They'll post shit like, I see people, they post every little thing they do. They're like, oh, yep. You know.
There is some people that love doing that.
They're like, yeah, woke
everything
up today.
They're doing.
They're literally like, yeah, well, I guess I'm headed for bed, relaxing with the kiddos, or blah blah blah. Like, yeah, I woke up this morning at this time. I did some laundry, and it's like, who cares? But I guess some people might, but probably not. I never post really anything like that. I just post like pictures because I want people to know how awesome I am. Or
that's
sometimes
right. That's right.
Or if I'm drunk or something, I'll just post something really funny. Like last night, there was a police chase in front of the house. So I posted, I was like, well, this is pretty sweet. I'm laying here, and a police chase goes right by, feet in front of me as I came home from the bar and I was drunk. And I laid down the driveway. Someone gave me a ride home. We
naturally. Yeah. You wouldn't be drunk driving. That would be illegal.
Yeah. It's close, but I try not to.
Yeah.
And
so you got to ride home.
And I was laying in the driveway, just chilling for a little bit, and this truck was ripping by, going real fast, and then I was like, oh wow, they're going pretty fast, and then all of a sudden I saw blue lights, and there was a sheriff chasing them. I was like, well, sweet. So I posted on Facebook. I was like, yep, just saw a cop chase. Hell yeah, I laughed my ass off. I love free entertainment. Like sometimes if I'm drunk or something, I'll post something like that just because it's funny, but. To each their own.
Yeah. Where you guys did fishing today, right? When you were out on the boat?
A little bit. We kind of just goofed around.
You weren't doing a lot of fishing?
Wow.
Because you guys were out on Sebago Lake like all day, weren't you?
Well, the thing is, Clint doesn't have like trolling rods. So it's like if we're gonna like fish, I kind of want to go out and troll and stuff with lead core line. But we just had like. So we'd kind of cruise around and go swimming here and there, and then we'd stop at a couple little places and try fishing a little bit. We didn't really catch much. We mostly just swam and cruised around. I drank beer.
Did you catch anything?
I caught like a little pickerel.
Little pickle?
It was like 8 inches long.
Little lake pickle?
It. But I mean, if I...
Did you kill it?
No.
That's a damn shame.
Nah.
That's a shame.
It wasn't a pike. It was a pike. I would have killed it.
Pickerel and pike are pretty close, aren't they?
Yeah, but...
Eating up all the good fish.
Yeah. They're native, though, so I don't like to kill them. The pike are bad.
Aren't northern pike native?
Not to Maine.
Really? What do they call northern pike for? I always thought that was
from like
Northeast.
Canada and shit. And Alaska and Canada and parts of the northern Midwest United States.
How'd they get out here?
Some asshole dumped them in a couple lakes. So they eat all the other fish.
Really?
Probably. I mean, it could have happened naturally, but I doubt it. I think it was a person that did it.
Yeah, well, for like isolated lakes and stuff, it doesn't seem like it could have been natural. But I would have figured it was something to do with...
They can get in one lake and then transfer. If it's connected by a river system, they can obviously go down the river and get to another lake or go up a river.
I thought that might have been Fish and Wildlife stalking them at one point.
No, definitely not.
No?
No, they wouldn't stalk pike.
Well, most of the places around here are pike, don't they?
No.
No?
Around in Cumberland County, the only body of water that has pike in it is Sebago Lake.
I didn't know that. I thought pike was way more
No.
common than just that.
Up in like I don't even know what county it is, but up in like Sabattis and shit, and then you go north towards Augusta and Gardner. A lot of the lakes up in like Belgrade, a lot of the lakes up there have a lot more of them. I think that's where it started in the state. Like Sabattis Lake is full of them. Little Sabattis Pond or whatever is full of them, and then like there's a chain of lakes up in Belgrade, and they all have pike in them.
Isn't there a big like pike derby up there every year?
Yeah, there is. And
you ever fished in that?
No, I don't like fish derbies much.
No.
Like up there, it's like everybody kills them, but it's like there's no point of even killing them up there because that lake's
so overpopulated.
Yeah, and that lake, there's so many, you may as well just preserve the fishery.
You do have to kill them. They're invasive.
You don't. It's not the law.
Of fish.
It's not the law. You don't have to.
No, but I mean, ethically, when they're that overpopulated, you do have to kill them to trim the population, or else there'll just be this big boom of pike. They'll eat out all the smaller things in the feeding chain, and then they'll just naturally die off on their own. But to prevent a huge loss of population in the food chain, if you kill them off every year, you might be able to maintain a good balance, right?
You could, but it's kind of weird. I don't really. There's different ways it could go because also you could kill a bunch of them, but then if you kill a bunch of big pike, that makes more room for a bunch of little ones to be around, and then sometimes you just end up making more.
Can't
pike
have nothing.
No, you can't. I think with the way I've never even fished Sabattis. The way I've heard it is it used to be really good until they started doing the derbies. And everybody, even though they're invasive fish, you may as well leave them in that lake because that's pretty much all it has now. So you may as well preserve what it has. There's nothing, you can't change it unless you poison the whole lake.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
No.
Sabattis is wicked fucking nice up there, isn't it too? Right?
I guess. Yeah.
I think I went up there once for a weekend when I was in high school. We were up in the Belgrade area. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was in Sabattis.
That's above that.
Yeah, Belgrade was wicked nice, dude.
Was it? There's a lot of lakes. There's a lot of lakes up there. It's kind of like
here, yeah.
Yeah, but there's more lakes, and obviously it's a little further northeast.
It was kind of in a weird spot because I would have thought it was farther, but the distance we did go was pretty far. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like
an hour and a half.
When you've never been, you think it's way out, and when you get out there, you're like, I have no idea where I am, but I'm assuming it's further.
Yeah, it's like an hour and a half away or something, isn't it?
I think we went out through Gray or something to get there.
Yeah,
I don't even know how to get
direction
there.
you head towards.
We must have been on the highway at some point, but I kind of don't remember being on the highway.
Yeah, I guess you could take back roads the whole way. You could also take I'm guessing the highway would be able to just go to Gray and get on the highway and go up that way because that's kind of the way it goes anyway.
I remember the kid I was riding with. So we were all in high school. We were all 17, 18 at the time, and there was only one of us that had his license, and we were in his car. And we were driving up, and we were going through this construction site. And so we were all, hyped up. We were all 18. We were all fucking wicked excited.
Hell
yeah. And we're all in this car. We're all playing loud music. We're all jumping around. We're all fucking around. But we're going through this construction area on the road. And the speed limit through a construction zone is 15.
Yeah, it's a lot.
We're going probably 35. And there was a cop in this construction zone. So we're kicking up a huge dust storm. And this cop gets out of his cruiser because it's in a straightaway where we were.
Yeah.
This cop's parked. We're coming up. We're flying. He gets out and steps out into the road and puts his hand out for us to stop. And we're like, oh my God, we're all going to jail. Yep. So he stops, and we were going so fast and kicking up so much dust. When we stopped, this huge cloud of dust passed us, and we had all our windows down. We were all coughing. The cop disappeared. It was like we made a sandstorm.
Just go.
And luckily, there was no one real close behind us, or else, coming to a quick stop with that much dust.
Yeah.
May have been an issue with an accident.
Yeah, they
or
wouldn't
something.
have seen if you stopped. They just plow into the back. Yeah.
So we stopped. This cop comes around and asks for the kid's license.
The guy, that guy you were with that was driving?
Yeah. So the kid who was driving, I think I was in the shotgun seat. He asked for his license and all his shit, and everything was all legal, and he had his license long enough for him to have passengers, so we were all legal, but,
right.
We were criminally speeding in a construction zone, which, fines are double and all that. You always see those signs. And this cop was just so pissed. He had no patience with us. And he didn't even have us pull over. He just asked for our stuff in the middle of the road. And he got all serious once he came back and realized we were all legal. And he told the driver, he's like, if I see you driving this fast again, like, this car's going to be impounded and you guys are walking home. Because he saw from the license we weren't from there.
That's a long
He's like,
walk.
you guys are going to fucking walk home if I see you with this.
Hitchhiking,
like,
I
driving
guess.
like this again.
Jeez.
And we were like, yes, sir. And then for like 10 minutes, we were all scared. No one wanted to talk. We were all still nervous. And then, 10 minutes, we were right back to how we were acting before, driving way too fast and acting like idiots.
Guys, don't learn. Don't learn your
Don't know nothing.
No.
But it was a summer day. It was fucking so nice up there, up in Belgrade. It reminded me a lot of here.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Well, it's probably a little cooler up there sometimes. It's northeastern.
From here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably, what,
Well,
2-3 degrees colder?
When we went to the smelt place, when we went to the smelt camps on the Kennebec River, it's not too far from there. That's around that area.
Really? Like Gardner?
Yeah, I mean, the Belgrade area, I don't think is too far from Gardner. It's the same general region of the state.
Yeah. For whatever reason...
Probably a little bit. Belgrade's a little further.
When you go north of Lewiston, I get real fuzzy in that northeast of Lewiston.
That's kind of where that area is. That's like Sabatis, and then it starts turning into... Eventually, it's Belgrade. Yeah, I've never really ventured out that way too much.
You've never gone fishing up that way?
No.
For everyone listening here, Nate, is a master angler.
Well, you could say that.
He's caught every type of fish that swims in this area. He knows
Almost.
everything about it. He knows their Latin names.
Well,
he knows the origin, how they got here.
Sometimes I have to look them up.
He's being modest. He knows fucking everything about fish. He lives and dies to fish.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
I like fishing, drinking beer, and watching thunderstorms. Other than that...
And that's about as good as it gets.
That's pretty much as good as it gets.
And if you can bang all three of those out in one day...
You're doing something right.
That's the hat trick.
If I could, I'd quit my job and just get paid to pretty much not work. And, well, I guess that's kind of what everyone wants to do. But
you have a YouTube page, right, where you do fishing videos?
Yeah, it's not that good, though.
Well, nothing's good when you start. This is the second episode of the podcast. No one's probably even listening
to this. The thing is with me, I just kind of film my own shit. I don't, have, a camera. I mean, some of the big guys that do it, they got, these nice cameras, and they got people that film them, and they,
but they also have, a million subscribers.
And they're good at editing videos. I mean, I use Windows Movie Maker, which...
It's a lot better than I could make.
Yeah, I mean, you just get used... You just try it, and you experiment with it. I make some music videos sometimes.
Yeah.
Some goofy shit.
Nate is also famous for his music videos.
Oh, yeah, big time. Everybody knows who I am.
We're going to have a
Even
link
the people
to
that
his,
don't know who I am. Because I am very super famous.
Well, we're going to have a link to his YouTube page in the description of this video.
Don't watch it. It's not good.
No,
you can if you want.
Please watch it. It's fantastic.
Some stuff's all right.
We're going to also put a link to his Facebook page to go and watch his music videos, because those are fucking sweet, too.
Yeah, I have some of those videos on Facebook, too, but actually, that Sharp Dressed Man one, I know it got muted because it was, copyright.
Oh, yeah, you can't upload ZZ Top to YouTube without getting a copyright.
No, it was on Facebook. YouTube didn't get copyrighted. Actually, I think
they do copyright stuff on Facebook, too?
I didn't copyright. I just wrote, it's music by ZZ Top, all rights to them, and they still, I guess it's still illegal because I use their music without paying for it or whatever, but...
I thought parody was, fair use.
Well, it wasn't a parody because I actually
No, but I mean, it was a parody of, the music, you were making your own music video.
Well, a parody's making fun of it, right? I was just kind of remaking it, my own twist on it. I thought it'd be... I just thought it'd be cool.
I still think that's fair use, though. Maybe parody's the wrong word, but...
just using the music and posting it.
Because it's not like you were uploading it for people to listen who were looking to hear the song.
Right.
You were making
some people might
a thing. And then you even linked to the ZZ Top, the actual song. And you
still
said,
think it's...
all rights reserved or whatever.
I think it's technically illegal still.
And you didn't make any money off those.
No.
No, so it's just
It's who cares?
It seems like ZZ Top would like a little publicity nowadays.
I was going to say, it's not
with the younger generation.
Right. Yeah, it's not... It's I don't know why they'd consider that, bad, because...
I could see if you were making a ton of money off using it, where it'd be an issue.
But I'm not planning on going.
You didn't make anything. No. You just posted it to Facebook.
I basically did it for fun, so my friends could see it, and they thought it was cool, and they were in it. And
for a goof, something to watch and smoke a cigarette to.
Exactly. But I don't know. I don't see what the difference is. Somebody uploading it to YouTube. Like, you can go on YouTube and you can watch it for free. Well, I guess it's not free because they have advertisements on it, so they get money for that. But
or you can go and if you look up any song and then look up a subtitled version or whatever, lyric version.
Yeah.
None of those channels are official.
That's
it's always
true.
like some guy who's uploading the song with like a...
And they just add lyrics to it.
Yeah, they add lyrics on like a slideshow thing.
I guess that's probably technically not legal either, but they just don't really catch on to it.
Well, it seems weird that if you intentionally post the song, you're not going to get your video taken down. But if you post it making like, you know, content, like something behind it, and then you also are using the music, that's a big no-no.
Yeah.
Even if you're not making any money. It just seems like a weird thing to pick and choose over.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's not like anyone's stealing money from them. They've been around for like 60 years, right?
Yeah. Well...
I mean, it's not like they're up and coming and people are leeching the money that they need.
Like, they've been around for 50 years, but yeah.
I mean, like, is ZZ Top not made enough money that I gotta chase people down on YouTube?
Yeah, I have no idea. I wondered that too. I guess it's just
I
illegal.
don't know. I guess it's only fair that it's their music, they made it, no one else should be making money
right.
off it. I get that.
But like you said, I'm not, so it shouldn't matter anyway.
Yeah, there should be a thing where if your account isn't monetized,
that means that's when you get ads in your videos and shit.
Yeah,
right?
if you're making money, like if you should be able to opt in and out of a YouTube page, like your channel being monetized or not. And if it's not, you shouldn't be able to get a copyright.
Right. Yeah.
They're not, or maybe that's a terrible idea. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
There's so many laws in the world. You can't follow them all. It's confusing. Anything you do is something illegal.
Maybe, yeah, potentially. Well, the stuff I don't do is illegal, for the record. Never broken the law before.
No, me neither.
No. We're two law-abiding citizens.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
For the most part.
99% of the time.
Yeah.
And then the other 1% I'm also not breaking the law because I don't break the law.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the record.
And even when I'm breaking the law, in my mind I'm not, so it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can pretend to break the law, which is what you mean, right?
Yeah.
We don't actually break the law.
Right,
Yeah,
that's what I do a lot
for
of the time.
For everyone listening, neither of us have ever
like,
committed
sometimes
a
I'll
crime.
have a few drinks at the bar, and then I'll pretend to drive home.
Or, yeah, you'll have your person drive you home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll pretend like I'm driving.
Yeah, you'll be in the passenger seat pretending to drive.
Yeah.
Because the thrill of breaking the law, but you've never actually driven with alcohol in your system.
No, well, if I'm by myself, what I'll do is I'll just tell the car to drive itself.
Yeah, you got one of those new ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a 2001 Passat, but I programmed it so it does it itself.
Yeah.
So I just sit in the seat and...
Yeah, you sit in the passenger seat. It's like the Knight Rider or whatever.
Yeah.
You sit in the passenger seat and you're like, hey, Passat, bring me home. And it goes, okay. And it drives you home.
Yeah, and if you get pulled over, it automatically outruns the cops for you. It's pretty sweet.
It's a fucking amazing piece of technology.
It's awesome.
And think, back in 2000, they didn't have that.
No.
No. And think in 20 years what they're going to have.
Yeah.
They're going to have, alcohol-free drinks.
And you'll still get fucked up.
You'll be able to go to a bar and drink something that isn't alcohol and then just drive yourself home.
And you'll get fucked up.
But you won't be drunk.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll feel like you are.
Yeah, you won't be intoxicated at all. You'll legally be able to drive.
But you'll just feel like you're drunk. Yeah. That'd be nice, huh?
You'll just be seeing double and stuff, but not be intoxicated on any substance.
Yeah, it won't affect your driving at all.
Yeah, your driving will be perfect, but you'll be out of your mind, yeah.
Definitely.
And that's what we're living for, right?
Yeah. That's the ultimate goal, is to just, have fun and enjoy your life and drink all the time. No, you don't have to drink all the time, but have fun and enjoy your life for sure.
Enjoy your life and just get as wasted as you can all the time. Yeah.
I mean,
on anything, whatever you can, like nail polish remover.
Yeah.
Vanilla
extract.
If
you're gonna be sober all the time, what are you really living for? It's kind of stupid.
Who are you living for?
Exactly.
Is the better question.
Not yourself. That's for sure.
You're not living for you.
Nope. You gotta get fucked up all the time. Yeah. I kind of want to just quit my job and drink full time, and then.
It's not a bad idea. I know a couple guys that do that.
Right.
Yeah. And they have way more fun than I do having a job.
It would just be you just need some sort of income that can. I don't need a lot of money, just enough to supply myself with beer and be able to live in a tent in the woods. And
I know a couple of guys who,
you guess you could rob stores and shit.
I know of these guys. I don't actually know people who do this, for the record, but people who are, in air quotes for the listeners, disabled, who, have a wheelchair and are handicapped.
Ray.
And on the weekends, will, meet us at the bar and go drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to work out a deal like that, too, eventually.
And while they're drinking, I mean, they're standing at the bar. For the people imagining.
But Monday through Friday, they're wheelchair bound, which sucks.
Monday through Friday, they're wheelchair bound, and they're out in public making appearances, wheelchair bound, and then, on the weekends when they're not working.
Right. It sucks that they're wheelchair bound.
Like
yeah, it sucks that they're wheelchair bound during the week, but at least they have the weekends to not be.
Yeah. I mean, no one can do that all the time.
I think I'd be able to do. I'd be able to live like that. That'd be sweet. And
then you wouldn't have to work. They get a check every week, and when they get the check and cash it on Friday, they'll just walk around for the weekend.
Yeah, and the weekend. And
that's the days off.
You go on boats. Yeah,
Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. Those are your days off.
Why would you stay in a wheelchair during the weekend? Obviously, you're gonna get up and do shit.
I mean, if you wanted,
why wouldn't you want to have fun?
If you wanted overtime.
Yeah,
you want to get a little overtime. Maybe you're short on money. You can, stay in the chair all weekend. But, you gotta take a day off eventually.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, even the workaholic guys I know, they'll stay in the chair, every other weekend for a little extra money. But
eventually,
you need a day off.
Oh yeah,
you need a day off.
You gotta go to the bar and drink some beer, go out in a boat, go fishing, do whatever you need to do, get out of your system.
You can't just sit in that fucking chair all day.
No, definitely not. Yeah, even if
you can all day if you have to. I know if you need the money, but not all week. Every week, you got to take a day off once in a while.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man.
So there you go. Get a chair.
I might try to start doing that. I hurt myself, dude. I can't work.
Get a chair. And I'm not saying get a chair and pretend to be disabled for anyone listening. And for the record, we're not recommending people fake injuries or fake disabled status for money.
Like you just actually eventually.
Yeah, I mean you're actually, in quotations for the listeners, air quotations, actually disabled. But we're not recommending anybody do that. This is a purely hypothetical.
Yeah.
Purely hypothetical.
That would be a pretty sweet life, though. Like even on the weekends, like during the week when you're still in your chair, like you could at least play like RuneScape and shit on your phone, like RuneScape Mobile or whatever, or you could have a computer,
watch TV,
play RS3.
You can smoke cigarettes sitting down.
Yeah, you could even drink.
You can actually do a lot of stuff.
You could actually drink all week too if you wanted to. You just couldn't get up and go to the bar.
Yeah, but that's a lot of the fun of drinking.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're bored or you just
if your buddy's over,
yeah, you can
sit by you from having buddies over in the chair,
the fire and have a beer.
Yeah. That's not a bad
on a
idea.
weeknight. Yeah, that is a really good idea.
And you know what? That beats the hell out of working.
Oh, for sure. Fuck working. Who really wants to do that? Who wants to work their whole life? Is that really what we're meant to do, is sit and fucking go to some company and punch in and work 40-plus hours a week? Nope, I don't think so. Doesn't sound like my idea of a good life. May as well enjoy it. You have limited time.
I wouldn't mind working for myself that much.
Yeah,
like if I ran my own business or something.
I've thought about that too, but it's like, what the fuck would I do? What would I do? Be a beer taste tester or something?
You could do like something with fishing. You like fishing.
Yeah. I don't want to do anything that involves a lot of work and effort.
You could do...
I just want to relax.
Don't guides and stuff do that like 20 hours a week
Yeah,
or
but
something?
then you have to deal with people and all that bullshit. I don't want to do that either. Sometimes it'd be cool, but sometimes it would be shitty.
Yeah. Well, even 20 hours a week is 4 5-hour days. It's still a lot of time.
Yeah, too much.
But you'd be working for yourself.
That would be pretty sick.
But I mean, to have like a normal job, like whatever, probably at least half of everybody.
Yeah, I think a lot of guides actually have like a full-time job and they do that on the side. But
actually, the one guy I do know that does guiding just with fishing, he's also like a full-time firefighter now that I think about it.
Yeah. That's usually
so he's actually working more by doing guide work.
Yeah.
But I think
if you love
he double dips because he loves fishing. So on his time off, he's guiding and fishing himself and making money while he's doing it. So it's kind of like a cool entrepreneurial thing to do.
Definitely.
But it does seem like he's told me about like, you know, if you get a certain type of person out there, it can just be miserable. Like they're complaining.
That's what I've thought about. I wouldn't be able to deal with that.
It's too windy. There's mosquitoes. Like, I forgot my sunscreen. Yeah. Or they're just like, these fish aren't big enough. There aren't enough fish. Like, I'm not catching a fish. Right. I haven't caught a fish for the last 10 minutes. Apparently, it can be like a legit real nightmare.
I bet that's what I'd worry about. Like, this fuck. You know, that's when you just kick him off
But
the boat.
the
like,
dream
whatever,
would
I'm
be
gonna
to
fish
guide
myself.
fishing and have no one with you.
Do you think you get like? Would you get you have a guide license, but you work for yourself? Would you lose your guide license if someone was a real asshole and you're just like, get the fuck off my boat and just throw them in the water and drive
Well,
off?
because I think that would be like unethical practice.
You'd probably get bad reviews. They'd go on like whatever the fuck on the
Well, yeah,
webpages or
that, but I
whatever.
think they could report you to the guide service because they had paid for the tour, so you have to take them on the tour.
Right.
I don't know if reimbursing them their money will make that null and void. So, I mean, you could interrupt the tour and bring them home or bring them back to the dock or wherever. And then as long as you refund them, if that's even Steven.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I don't know.
Seems like you might just have to suck it up if you get a guy all the way out there and he just acts like a dick.
Right. It would suck if you wasted your weekend doing that though. Like you're in your wheelchair all week.
Yeah.
And then you go out. You get out of your
in the
wheelchair
chair all week.
Yeah, and then you get out of your wheelchair during the week. Like say you don't even have a regular job. You just
Right.
like you're in your chair. You're unemployed because you're disabled. But like you don't have a job and you have to sit in that fucking chair all week. And you're like, yeah, dude, this
Well, a lot of
sucks.
people sit in a chair for their job.
I know,
Like, if you
but
work
like
in an
this
office or
guy,
something.
if you're in a wheelchair, you can't do it. And then you finally get out of your chair.
Yeah. You get yourself up out of the chair.
Because it's a weekend.
Yeah, it's a
You
weekend.
can't be in a wheelchair anymore. And you spend that time out in the water, like, this is going to be great, and you've got some asshole like that. It's like, wow, that's a fucking weekend ruined. But other than that,
And then you have to go back to a week of the chair before you can try again.
Yeah.
That would suck.
Yeah, it would. But, well, it would be awesome, though, too, if you could go out, you sit and you have to be in your wheelchair all week, and then you go out on the weekends, and you have really good you have really good customers in your guide service. So you're basically working overtime without doing much, because you're in a wheelchair during the day. And then on the weekends, you're doing what you want to do and you still get paid if you're disabled. I don't know.
That does sound like a good spot to be in, doesn't it?
It does. I'm going to look into that. Not real. I don't know. Probably.
No, we're not looking to be disabled.
No. It would just be cool if we were.
Yeah, it'd be just, well,
Nah, it wouldn't.
nah, it wouldn't, but...
You have to be in a chair all the time.
But if that's your situation, you're in the chair all week, and then on the weekends you get to go and do fish guiding and stuff.
Definitely. I wonder if you can drink when you do that.
Fish guiding?
Yeah, if you're
I
like...
don't think you're
You're
allowed.
probably not because you're driving the boat and stuff.
I know you can with hunting, obviously, because you have guns.
You're allowed
but
to drink?
No, you're not allowed to.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you have to...
I didn't think so. I thought you said
You have a
could. I was
gun,
like, really?
the guy has a gun, and you have to be responsible for
Yeah,
him
you can only have like
stuff.
one beer or something.
But with fishing,
But you're driving the boat.
you're driving the boat, you're right. What
So
if
you
you're
could
in a
probably have-
paddle situation?
I think still technically, as far as the Maine state law goes anyway, any vessel you're in, motorized or not, if you're intoxicated, you can get an OUI.
Oh, so like the same thing with like riding a bike on the road, you
Yeah,
know,
like if you're hammered in a kayak or a canoe.
which
get an
neither of
OUI.
us have ever been.
No, definitely
No.
not. I don't know if it would go. I think you'd get like a fine for it, but I don't know as if you get arrested and like lose your driver's license for it. It might not be as serious as like drunk
It
driving.
might be like a fine,
Yeah.
or a suspension in your license.
Maybe, I don't know.
It
You'd
seems
hope
weird
so.
that they would suspend your driver's license for operating a non-motorized thing intoxicated.
Right, because I mean, you're not going to hurt anybody but yourself.
I mean, so if you own a car, and then you also have a bicycle, and you're like, fuck, I'm out of cigarettes and I need more beer.
Then you're hammered.
And you're hammered, and
Obviously,
you're
the
like, I
bike-
could drive my car, but because I want to be responsible, I'll ride my bicycle.
And they'll be like,
So then
well,
you get on your bike, you ride to the store, there's a cop at the store who stops you as he sees you pull in. And he goes, hey, what are you doing? You're drunk on your bicycle. And you go, okay, well, I chose not to drive my car, and I didn't want to walk. If they give you an OUI for being on your bike in that situation, that means because you chose the bike over the car, now they're going to punish you for
Yeah.
and not let you drive your car?
Yeah, that
I
doesn't
mean,
make
if you're
much
drunk
sense. I don't know if
driving
that's
in a
actually how
car,
it works. That's how
I don't know how it
I've
works
heard
either.
it.
I actually don't know anything.
No.
Don't know nothing.
No, I don't know. God,
But I do think an OUI fucks with your driver's license.
Yeah, I definitely think it does no matter what you're on. Which is...
Does that make any sense? If
I
you're
think-
riding a
well, I
bike,
think
the
the
punishment is you can't drive a
I
car?
think the reason they have that... No, that's stupid. But I think the
doesn't make
reason
any
they have the OUI law on bicycles is like... Obviously...
Because you can
unless
fall
it's a
into the
weird-
road
Yeah,
and
unless
stuff.
it's a really weird situation, you're not going to hurt anybody but yourself. But even if you hurt yourself, like you swerve in front of a car, it's going to obviously cause a situation that's
And
going to
you'll be at fault.
Yeah. And it's just going to cause a fuck-up situation that the police has to deal with. And it's going to cost them money. So I guess I can see why it's still illegal.
I understand.
But I just don't... I think it should be illegal, but just not as severe of a penalty.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
you should get a fine. I don't think you should go to jail
Yeah,
for it.
I think you should still be punished for doing that,
But
potentially, because
you shouldn't get an OUI.
You're putting other people at risk, because
Right.
if the car swerves and hits another car,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Shit like that.
Or that, too. Or, like, even if they hit you and kill you,
But-
it's like they still have to live the rest of their life with knowing they ran someone over and
Yeah.
killed them.
But the punishment
don't be an
for that
idiot.
shouldn't be not being able to drive a car. It should
Right.
just be a big sum of money. Or maybe community service, or
Right.
forced alcoholic anonymous classes or something.
Like, even walking down the road, I don't know if there's a law against that. I guess that's technically drunk in public, right? Or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But that's probably,
I mean,
I don't think that's nearly, I think that's like a
Yeah.
fine. I don't think you get it. I mean, if you're really bad, they'll probably arrest you.
Yeah,
But
if you're
like,
because it's the same thing. You could fall into the road and stuff.
I think most of the time they'd give you a warning and be like, all right, dude, just be careful.
Wait, so that means if you're at your house and you're hammered, you have a bike, a car, and 2 shoes, and you need to go to the store,
Or you need to go home
to get
or something.
you
or
know
go from someone
more
else's
cigarettes,
house.
more beer, and
Yeah.
the store's right down the road, and you walk, you're still in trouble.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do, for
I guess
fuck's
I guess
sake?
you got to quit smoking butts.
Got to quit smoking butts, and you got to go sober as soon as
Yeah.
you're done with your 6-pack.
I guess so. I guess you got to plan ahead and
That
just
ain't
buy
right.
a carton of cigarettes, and every 30 rack the store has that night, so you can have fun all night without
Is
having
that the
to
only
walk
way
or
to
go
avoid
anywhere.
any of that? Is just stockpile,
I guess, or you could,
or
if
have
you
a
had, like,
sober
secret, if you had a
sober person drop it off?
You could do that, or you could have, I don't know if they have like situations you could do like an underground tunnel to the store, build your own. That way you're.
That seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, I think it'd be better to have someone drive you or just
Yeah.
walk, take the risk of getting. I mean, I walk home from the bar sometimes.
Yeah.
I
But
think
see,
that
seems weird that
I
there's
don't
a
think-
negative connotation.
I've
Like,
never-
you could be driving. Of course, you've never done that, and you never will.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
No, Jesus Christ. But at the same time, to walk home from the bar, if a cop could stop you and give you a ticket for that, just that. So what's the point of having legal alcohol if there's nothing legal about doing it?
Exactly.
The only thing you can legally do is drink it over the age of 21 here in the state of Maine.
I think-
the great state of Maine.
I think they should just outlaw the sale of alcohol, so that way it forces us to make our own. That'd be cool.
well,
Nah,
I
just kidding,
I
fuck
make my
that.
own regardless.
Yeah, definitely. It would make it funner to make your own, because that'd be super illegal.
Well, for the record, what I'm doing isn't illegal. It's home brewing, which in the state of Maine is legal. I'm not distilling hard liqueurs.
So
I'm
it's
just making wine.
So like, so fermenting isn't illegal, but distilling is. Is that the
I
law
believe so.
is?
Well, it's like moonshine. Making moonshine's
Yeah,
illegal.
that's distilling.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that's.
So
I didn't know if it was
fermenting,
only.
yeah.
I didn't know if it was illegal to sell it. I knew it was like illegal to make it and sell it. But I don't know if like for personal use you could still do it or whatever. But I guess they probably wouldn't be able to tell.
Personal use, I think, because without having a without having a liquor license, I think you can make it and consume it yourself, and I think you can share it with friends and family legally.
Yeah.
But you definitely cannot sell it.
Right. But it's funny. It's
It's
one
the
of those
same thing
things-
with like
it's
hunting. If
it's
you hunt and kill a deer, you can give that meat away to your buddies. You just
Right.
cannot sell it.
No, definitely not. That'd be a big no.
Yeah, that'd be
Because
illegal.
it'd be
Neither of us have done that either.
I actually haven't done that.
Yeah, no, I mean actually neither of us have done that.
No.
No. For sure.
Yeah,
That would be illegal.
definitely.
Yeah.
I've actually never sold.
Yeah, I know. Neither of us have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the.
Just like the drinking and driving thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I might have done that like a little bit,
No.
but not much.
No.
But I definitely never sold
No.
like fish.
That's
or
a joke,
anything.
everybody listening.
Yeah.
That's a joke. He didn't mean that.
No. Yeah.
No.
No,
This
I'm
is
actually.
satire. This
I
is
actually like
satire.
this. I actually do follow the fishing laws very strict. I don't even keep
Yeah.
fish usually. I will once in a while, but I like to preserve the.
Yeah, you like tormenting the fish.
Yeah, and letting them go. They like it.
Yeah, you like torturing them and then just
Give them a
letting
kiss
go.
and get a picture and let them go.
Yeah.
But
You do it for digital clout.
yeah, that goes back to the Facebook thing. I mean,
Yeah.
if I couldn't take a picture of the fish and post it on Facebook, I wouldn't even do it.
What's the fucking point of fishing?
Exactly. You can't. What are you gonna do with it?
If you can't take a photo with a fish you caught on your own line
Then you'd
and
have to
post it on
keep it.
Facebook and get 17 likes,
Yeah.
What's
oh,
the
I get more
fucking
than
point?
that. Sometimes I'll get
Oh,
like
I'm sorry.
23
I
or
apologize.
something.
I
Sometimes I get
apologize.
like 23. Like if it's a real good one, sometimes even like 60.
I apologize.
Yeah.
I apologize. So, 60 likes. If you can't
Yeah.
post a
Oh,
photo and get
Jesus.
60 likes, you might as well not even fish. Close it down.
Yeah.
Might as well just push sand in Sebago Lake until it's even, and make it into a big parking lot for Walmart.
At least you get rid of the pike, and then you open it back up once they're all dead and put salmon back in there. And
it's not a bad idea.
Get rid of the togue, too.
What if you drop, like, one of those big blue bug-killing lights into Sebago Lake, like a huge one? Would that kill all the pike?
I don't know. They actually, you know the state actually, like this is dead serious. The state has done it before, and they do it. They've done it to Coffee Pond in Casco. It's called chemical reclamation of a lake. They did it to Coffee Pond because it's a really good trout pond. It's really deep. They have splake and nice brook trout in there.
And they dropped one of those blue bug zapper things.
No, it's not that. Somebody put bass in there illegally. A lot of lakes around in Maine have bass, which is good. But there's certain lakes they don't want them in because, like, a good trout pond, like, bass will eat the trout a lot and they'll outcompete them and eat all the food. So they'll have no bag limit on bass. Like, Coffee Pond has no bag limit on bass. But, like, I think in the 70s, bass were introduced illegally, and they started to, like, become more populated. So they poisoned the whole lake. And I forgot what chemical it is, but it's something that it deprives the water of oxygen temporarily. So it kills every fish that's in the lake. But after like 3 days, the chemical completely disperses and the oxygen goes back to normal. So they'll take the whole lake and they'll kill every fish that's in it. And they'll wait like a week and they'll restock. I think before they do that, they'll catch as many of like the fish they want in there as they can. Or they'll catch as many trout as they can. And they'll keep them in a big, like, holding tank.
Oh, just so they have the specific breed that was in there?
Yeah, and then they'll kill every fish that's in the lake, and then, like, a week later, they'll dump the trout back in. And then they'll restock it with more from the hatchery and stuff. They did that, like, in the 70s.
Just to preserve the actual native species?
They actually did it to a lake up north recently because there was Arctic char in there. The only fish...
Where?
I forgot where it was. It was up near the Canadian
char,
border.
like the orange things?
Arctic char, yeah. I think some of them
They're like,
orange,
they look like a salmon, except...
They're closely related to a brook trout. Like a brook trout and a lake trout are actually chars. They're not true trout.
They have that big fucked up mouth, right? Where it's
no,
like
it
their
doesn't
mouth
mean
never
that.
really
A
closes.
char is a salmonoid species that is...
Yeah, I thought they were more like salmon.
Well, trout and salmon are in the same fish. Smelts are even, too.
I apologize.
But, like, say, like a brown trout or a rainbow trout, they're lighter colored with black spots. It's a true trout. But a brook trout and a lake trout are actually technically chars. They're in the char family. They're still a trout or they're still in the trout salmon family. They're still a trout, but they're a char. And then Arctic char is like a rare species of... They're more up north, but we do have a few ponds in northern Maine that have them in like stream systems. But they've done that to one of those lakes too.
I thought there was a saltwater char.
There's sea run char, I think, like up in like northern Canada on the east coast, just like there's sea run brook trout.
That's not the same as the one in northern Maine you were talking about?
It's the same species of fish, but all species of salmon and trout have sea run versions of them.
Okay.
So like there's sea run brook trout and sea run brown trout in Maine. Like I saw on Maine ice fishing page on Facebook, the Maine saltwater fishing page. Sorry, a guy was striper fishing and he caught like a friggin' 5-pound sea run, like a 5-pound brown trout. He caught it in the ocean fishing for stripers. And it's sometimes fish like that.
I actually never knew that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I really want to catch one. I heard it's really difficult to, but in situations like especially in the summer, I think when like the rivers get a little bit warmer and the trout need cool water, they go to the ocean. They go down to the ocean because there's more food opportunity. There's way more shit in the ocean they can eat than in freshwater. They got shrimps and all kinds of other shit. Everything that's in the ocean. And the water's cooler, and they can adapt to handle salt water. And in some situations, they thrive more in salt water than they do in freshwater. And then sometimes they'll go back and forth depending on what the conditions are. It's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, that happens with brook trout too, up in like Labrador.
I didn't know they had saltwater brook trout.
Yeah, they're the same. They go back and forth. They're the same species. They're not like a separate species. They're the same exact fish. They can transition and adapt to salt water, and they can go into the ocean. It happens a lot.
Like in the same lifetime, or just the same species, but just clearly different?
The same lifetime. They can adapt. Like a brook trout.
What, really?
Yeah, they can. There's resident fish there's videos about it. There's one they were fly fishing for sea run brook trout and resident brook trout in Labrador, and they could tell by the colors. They're actually fishing in a freshwater brook, but there was some trout that came up from the ocean that would live in the ocean all year, and they'd come up into freshwater to spawn. Yep, brook trout, and they could tell by the color. And there was some other ones that would stay for whatever reason. They could tell by the color. They never went to the ocean. They were resident brook fish. They stayed in the brook or the river all year, all the time, and there was some that would go to the ocean just because there's better opportunity for food, and then they'll swim back up to the freshwater in the fall to spawn. It's pretty cool.
That is wicked cool. I didn't know that. So do they change color when they adapt to saltwater?
Yeah, I think they're more silvery. They're
Like
they're actually less colorful, I'm pretty sure.
Huh.
Because they get like a...
They just turn into like a white fish looking thing?
Well, they still have the same basic colors, but like sometimes it'll be like they'll lose the bright colors, and they'll have just more of a pale silvery look.
Why is
they'll
that?
still have like the same
Do you know
pattern.
why that is?
I don't know if it's just because of the water, or I really don't know.
Seems like, there's a lot of bright fish in the ocean. It seems weird that they would lose their brightness. Because for everybody listening who doesn't know what a brook trout looks like, you should Google it. They're
Well, it might be because
gorgeous.
it might be because there's a lot more predators in the ocean too that'll eat them too. So they want to they adapt. So they probably blend in better if they're a paler color.
Yeah.
Not recording the whole time.
No, we're recording. I'm just making sure that, just gave me a warning about maximum time. I didn't want to make sure we weren't recording.
Oh, is it? It has to be. It can be under an hour.
No, it's just telling me that max recording is 60 minutes, which is what we're going for.
Beg my pardon, we're at 46 now.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that it's keeping recording because I've never seen it pop up like that. Anyway, so there's a lot more, what is that called? With predator pressure or something like that?
Yeah, like especially...
Do you think they lose color to try to blend in or
Yeah,
something?
I think so. Sometimes. I'm guessing. I really don't know. I've never caught a sea run trout. I'd love to.
Because the color that a freshwater brook trout has, there's no way that's camouflage.
No, especially the males. And they get that color in the fall when they spawn. They kind of do get paler, even the ones that stay in freshwater. They get that really bright. They're colorful all year, but the males are more colorful. I don't know.
Especially during, it's the same thing with birds, right?
Yeah, like during the fall, like September.
During mating
and October,
season, they get all bright.
Like you start catching brook. You can't. Most rivers around here, you're not allowed to even fish in the fall because it's trout spawning season. But you can fish until September 30th. And a lot of times you catch brook trout in like the tail end of the legal fishing season for brooks, and especially the smaller streams. I've caught them in like late September. And their males are like beautiful, bright red bellies, and they got like the white outlines on the fins. You're not allowed to. You can only keep one, I think. I don't keep any anyway for trout. I always let them go, especially the wild ones. I'll keep stocky sometimes, but it's just cool to go out and catch the ones that are really colorful like that, just to look at them and torture them, like Tim said, and take a picture of them, let them go. But with trout are delicate, so I literally will keep them like in the net in the water. I barely take them out of the water. I keep them wet.
And the state knows that.
You got to be gentle with them, yeah.
The state stalks them. They know they're just there for a photo shoot.
Yeah, well, the state stalks them, but there's like the ones I'm talking about are like a native population.
Yeah.
Those ones that get
Those
stalked.
take better photos.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The stalked ones taste. A lot of people say, "Oh, I don't eat stalked fish. They don't taste as good." I don't know. I eat them all the time. They taste great.
Yeah, if they didn't taste good, they wouldn't bother stalking them. Half the reason why they stalk them is to prevent such a pressure on the native species.
Right, or certain places like...
Plus, don't they die out anyway, the stockies?
Well, it depends where they stalk them. Like Parker Pond, they will because it's too shallow and gets too warm in the summer for them. But like certain places that's deep enough, they'll stalk them and they can... Like like Coffee Pond. I think that's like 60 feet deep, so it's got plenty of deep, cold water. Because trout need cold water to survive. In the summer, they just go deeper, and that has a lot of good trout in it too because it's illegal to ice fish it, so it kind of preserves it more. I'd never catch shit out of it though, so I don't know.
Neither have I.
No,
but I don't actually fish much. So.
Right.
Wait, so a stocked fish, will like the second generation of a stocky look like a native? Like, will it have that? I don't know.
I think it would. It's the same fish. I just don't know. I've heard that sometimes I've heard that they don't reproduce, but I don't see why they wouldn't. I really don't know all of it, honestly. I have a lot of questions myself.
Because the difference visually between the native and a stocky is that when the hatcheries are like growing stock fish, or fish meant to be stocked into a local tributary or something like that, or body of water, they'll clip the fin. Yeah. Right? So when you catch it, and it's missing a fin,
You know it was stocked.
you'll know it was stocked. But
A lot of times they're not.
Are they also sterile? Because if they could reproduce,
I don't know. I actually don't know.
Well, if they reproduced, wouldn't their offspring have that fin grown back? Because it's not like a fin's hereditary.
I think it can happen. I think they do reproduce sometimes. I just don't think it happens often, because a lot of times they get caught. But I think you're right. I think if they did have an offspring, it would technically be. They wouldn't. It would be a wild.
Yeah, it's
trout.
not like you would inherit the gene of missing a fin.
Right. No.
Yeah.
The wild. If two stocked fish breeded and had an offspring, the offspring would be a wild trout. Yeah. I guess it technically wouldn't be called a native trout, but there's no way of telling if it's native or wild. I guess technically a native trout, something.
Oh, so a wild would be something stocked that is reproduced.
Basically, but there's literally no way. I get people
like a wild dog.
People,
like
yeah,
a wild
people
dog.
argue about that, but there's really no way of telling. I don't. I mean, if
it's wild or
DNA,
native?
the DNA, I think they're all the same species, so it's like.
What are you gonna do? Catch a fish and send it in for a DNA test just to tell your buddies whether it was wild or
Yeah,
native while you're
exactly.
drinking beer, telling stories, showing photos on Facebook?
Yeah, basically.
While you're in your chair?
You're
in your chair slamming beers, you pull up Facebook, you want to show all your buddies your fish, and they're like, hey, I bet that's wild. And you're like, fuck you, it's native.
It goes back to why Facebook's important. You need to show your buddies.
Facebook's important. You can use Facebook from your chair. You can go on Facebook and like the Choochin podcast page.
Absolutely.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Facebook.com/Choochin podcast.
Yeah, it's a really good channel.
Or at Choochin podcast on Facebook.
Hell yeah.
While you're at it, you can go and follow me on Twitter at PodGod69.
PodGod69. Is that a new one you made?
Yeah, PodGod68 was taken.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, can't have
Well,
nothing.
69's better anyway, so.
Yeah, that's
I'll have to get
well,
a Twitter just so I can follow you.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And,
oops, sorry.
yeah, you guys can go and follow me on Twitter and like the page on Facebook. Go to the YouTube. YouTube doesn't have a nice, pretty URL. It's like youtube.com/channel and then like 90 numbers and letters.
Yeah, but I guess you'll put all the links in there if anybody wants to look at my stupid videos.
I'll probably throw the throw the links into the description.
I'm sure there's so many people just itching to check my channel
Oh, man.
out.
There's people who probably started listening to the beginning and skipped to the end. Or probably just turned it off and just went to your Facebook.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this kid, I gotta see it.
They went to your Facebook or your YouTube page to see your music videos or your fishing videos.
Or if anyone sat through the whole thing, they might be asleep by now. But maybe not. I know, I'm just saying that because sometimes I'll turn on like a YouTube channel, like a YouTube video, like I'm trying to sleep, and to like have it on autoplay, and
or
just listen to people talk
they
while I'm
just
trying to
might
fall
have
asleep.
Tried to stay awake, but this has put them to sleep.
Yeah. I'd definitely listen to something like this till I fell asleep. I might listen to once you upload it. I might use it as like just a listen. That might be weird to listen to my own voice. I don't know. I'll try it. See what happens.
I tried listening to the first one because this is episode number 2.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I listened to half the first one. I couldn't hear all of it because Clint was being too loud working his truck. God damn it! What an asshole!
What an asshole!
Working on his truck, making too much noise. Couldn't hear it.
Yeah. Well, it is weird for me because I tried to listen to the first episode. So, I mean, when you listened to the first episode, it was my voice and a buddy of mine's.
Yeah.
And, but when I listen to it, it's me and my buddy.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird to listen to your own.
Plus,
I don't like listening to my own voice.
Plus, I have a lisp. You know what I mean? So I'm like, it's not only is it my voice, so it's kind of like cringy and like I'm listening to myself
Nobody
talk.
likes the sound of their own voice.
Yeah, but I have a lisp, so I'm embarrassed of my voice.
Mine's kind of nasally.
I think because you've heard me talk so long, you're used to it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think when I first started hanging out with you, I noticed it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like it's not something that everybody has, and it sounds goofy, and it's been a trope in I don't know a million movies where it's like a kid with glasses and braces who's like, "Oh my god, guys, what are you doing?" You know what I mean?
Right. Fuck it. Who cares?
But it's not something I'm trying to do. So.
No, it just happens.
But I mean, when I was listening to the first episode, I hear my voice, which is cringy and weird, and then I hear my voice with a lisp. So whenever I say an S or, any type of sound
I'm picking up on it now that you mentioned it. Before that, I never noticed it. Yeah. Like I said, I noticed it earlier, but now when I first met you, but like I'm used to it, I guess, so I don't notice. But as soon as you started pointing it out, it's like now I'm listening for it.
Well, anytime I hear my own voice, that's the first thing I hear is I'm dragging my S's, and it just sounds bad.
Yeah.
And I think the more I think about it, the more I talk with it, too. Because
Jesus.
quick little story about how that happened. When I was a kid, I lost all my front teeth falling down. It wasn't a bunch of fall downs. I fell down and lost them all at once.
Yeah. Wait, where'd they go? Oh, their baby
my
teeth?
front teeth, yeah. I was like 3 or 4 or something. So 3 or 4 is when you really, I mean, kids can talk at 3 or 4, but you don't really know how to talk until you get a a little bit older, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can say
You're
words.
kind of just mimicking what other people are saying.
Yeah, like a parrot.
Yeah. But when you're, 4 or 5, I think it is, you go to school. I didn't get my teeth back till I was 7. Like, they didn't start growing in my adult
So you
teeth.
got used to talking that way.
I learned how to talk without front teeth.
Yeah, that's exactly
so
what
without being able to, press your tongue against your teeth and say your S, you have to talk through the sides of your mouth.
Yeah, definitely. I never knew that.
Well, that's where my lisp comes from.
That's definitely where it came from.
Talking from my side. But now that my teeth have grown back, obviously.
You still have that muscle memory to not...
The muscle memory, but I kind of feel like sometimes if I don't think about it, or sometimes if I try to concentrate to not do it, I can kind of talk without it.
Yeah, if
I
you
can
concentrate.
physically talk without it, but it's just something that is muscle memory. I revert to talking with it naturally.
Obviously, when you're talking about something, you're not thinking about how you talk. You're thinking about the subject you're talking about, so you're not going to... until like you said.
Yeah. So, like, if I was giving a presentation in college or something, or if I was speaking publicly, or, anytime I had to use my voice in front of people that I wasn't comfortable with, I would just concentrate on trying to run through any S, any PH, any kind of, embarrassing sound. I would try to avoid saying words with S's. I'd try to just get through it as quickly as I could because I was just so embarrassed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, I've been told by everybody it's not that big of a deal, so...
No, it really isn't.
Something I need to just get over. And obviously now that I'm starting the podcast, I'm going to have to be talking to people I don't know a lot. So
now they're all going to hear
Now they're all going to hear my embarrassing voice.
My list.
That's right. That's right.
Hell yeah.
Dude, it is hot out.
Yeah, it is. What is it? What time is it now?
It is...
It says 19:08. There's no way it's 9:08.
7:08. It's military time.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking...
24-hour clock, Bob.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking 19 meant 9 o'clock.
7:08. 7:08, and I bet it's 85 degrees still.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And all the wind stopped.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a breeze in the lake today, but not...
There was.
There's actually a little bit of breeze in the trees, but we can't feel it down here.
Yeah, but that's 20...
If you're above the tree line, you could feel a little breeze.
Yeah, if we were elevated 25 feet off the ground, we'd feel a little lick right now, but that's actually brutal to look at the leaves move like that, but be down here and get air. That's torture.
We could at least get a good storm or something. Maybe tomorrow we will.
I think tomorrow... Wait, no. Tomorrow's supposed to be sunny and 90 again.
Yeah, it's going to be hot tomorrow.
It's going to be too hot.
Sunset's starting to get later now, which sucks, but I haven't noticed it yet. It's like 8... I think sunset's at like 8:15 now, and like 3 weeks ago it was at 8:30. We've lost like 15 minutes already.
Yeah, we're losing minutes every day.
Yeah, it's kind of depressing, but...
Before you know it, there's going to be feet of snow on the ground. We're going to be huddled inside.
It's going to be dark for like most of the day. It's going to be daylight only from like,
9 a.m. to 3 p.m.?
Well, like...
That's exaggerated, but that's about right.
Yeah, it'd be like 7:30. It'd be like 7:15 to like...
Is that
5.
the latest?
Sunrise? As far as daylight. No, like, I don't know what the actual sun... Well, you know how it's like light before it actually comes up. I don't know. It seems like it gets...
I don't know either.
It depends, where you are.
I do think the latest sunrise is probably... I feel like 7:15 is a low number. I feel like it could be later.
I know the earliest one in the summer, the earliest sunrise is like...
4.
It's 4:59, I think. And then the latest one...
pre 5 o'clock.
I think the latest one is on the summer solstice.
9:20?
No, it's like 8... It's like 8:29. 8:29.
That's still pretty good.
But it's still
I'd like to have that
you still have
year-round.
You still have that like that ambient dusk light until like 9:15.
Yeah, it's still light out.
Yeah. With the sun itself is like right now it's probably still another while.
Dude, we just did an hour.
Holy shit!
That went quick, huh?
Jesus Christ!
Quicker than I thought. Alrighty, folks. So follow me on Twitter at PodGod69. Go to YouTube. And subscribe to the YouTube page. Just search Choochin. You'll find it. It's got the same emblem as the emblem on Spotify and Anchor. Yeah, subscribe to the YouTube. Follow me on Twitter. Go to Facebook. Go to the Choochin podcast on Facebook. Like that. And in the description, I'll leave a way for you to go see Nate's music videos and his fishing videos. I'd love it if you guys gave him a little support and a little love online. That'd be cool.
If you want.
Alrighty, folks. We'll check in next week and see how you're chooching.
Dude, see you guys later.